32 through 35, I think I'm going to go ahead and have available on the printed answer key for you to check, but I am going to walk through the process for setting up the picture, because that is what the whole point of these questions are, is can you set up the picture? So as I mentioned before in the notes for this section, if you always start with just a basic right triangle, pretty much that's going to be enough to get you through the problem. So a student is looking out from a school window. You can see a car at a 28-degree angle of depression. So the student's looking out the window. So my student is up here. They see the car, which means they could look horizontally, but they don't. They look down at an angle of depression to see the car. And that outside the triangle angle messes with people's heads. I mentioned you could always throw it in the bottom corner and be correct. And then you're gonna not actually have to have a calculator for this one. You just want to write what would you type into your calculator to find how far from the base of the school the car is. So from the bottom of the school, if the window is 60 meters high. So you need to basically, if it was a problem like number 17, you would need to get all the way to here and then stop. Don't pick up your calculator, but find what would you put in the calculator to find that distance. Number 33, a kite string is 300 feet long. So it's possible that you've never flown a kite, which is fine, but kites blow in the wind, which means a kite string that's attaching it to the kid who's holding onto it is at an angle because the wind's blowing it away from the kid. So this is my kite string here. It's 300 feet long. And again, you're just figuring out what are you going to put in your calculator to find, that's supposed to be find how high the kite is. So you're finding how high up in the air the kite is. If the angle of elevation to the top of the kite is 15 degrees. So, as always, draw your right triangle. The angle at the bottom is angle of elevation. Even if it was originally angle of depression, put it at the bottom. You're going to be correct. Number 34, a football field is a rectangle that's 100 yards by 53 yards. So here's my rectangle, and it's 100 yards by 53 yards. So this actually has a lot of lengths given to us. An important thing to notice, I'm not being asked for an angle. We're trying to find the shortest distance from one corner to the opposite corner, meaning you're finding another side in a right triangle. My suggestion to you, don't use trigonometry. Then number 35, a square has a diagonal of length 100 units. So let me attempt to draw a square. Now when we say diagonal, it's the same thing I just drew in that rectangle. It's going from corner to corner. But I was attempting to draw a square. So while this diagonal is supposed to be 100, those other sides are all supposed to be the same. So as a reminder, squares have all sides equal. So if I call this x, this side is x, this side is x, this side is x. I'm going to find the perimeter and the area in simple stratical form, which you can't do until you find x. So your goal should be, what does x equal? And then how do I find perimeter? How do I find area? Those answers will be on the answer key, but I wanted to kind of set